lot is not even written by David. Some of them are even written, the Psalm of this one, Psalm of Asaph. And the average Christian just say, it was written by David. You grow up. Look at this. He spake what? 3,000 proverbs. And his songs were 1,005. How do you sing those songs? Even our greatest singers, Michael Jackson, not 1,000 and his songs were 1,005. Hear this now. Hear this. And he spoke of trees. You know when you're finished with information, you go like, now I'm studying trees now. Mangifera digitata. The man was going into it. All the botanical names and the meaning, everything, he knew it. Listen, the man spoke of trees. How crazy can you be? After finishing all the scientific data, he would line them up. And Jesus comes in, who is our wisdom. And he says, a greater than Solomon is here. We can speak of trees better than Solomon. We can speak of anything better than Solomon. Brothers and sisters, one day, when you decide to meditate, you will see realms open. Realms will open to you. I said realms will open to you. Imagine Jesus. He said, Abraham was glad to see my day. What was in Abraham that caused him to meditate until he started seeing the New Testament unveil? And says, and Abraham was glad to see my day. They turned to him and said, you are not even 50 and you say you saw Abraham. Abraham saw him where? Melchizedek. You're not hearing. The Bible says, with no father, with no mother, no genealogy of days. Some people say, yes, Melchizedek was a king of Jerusalem. You're mentally disturbed because Jerusalem was not created at the time of Melchizedek. Melchizedek, king of what? Of peace. Salem, shalom. King of what? Of peace. And the book of Hebrews calls Jesus what? The Prince of Peace. So if he's the prince, he is the child of the king. But we know the child of the king was king in flesh. So Melchizedek was Jesus in flesh in the Old Testament. And the Bible says, and Abraham gave him a tithe. So it's the New Testament, now we don't tithe. This guy saw the New Testament in the Old Testament. He said, the only reaction I can do is tithe. Abraham, for the first time when New Testament came in, he said, I will tithe. Sit down. Listen, you're sitting there. What you lack is wisdom from above. Things that can shift people around. Do you know lack of wisdom can mess you up? Do you understand this? Do you know you are an ambassador of heaven? Lack of wisdom can mess you up. I tell you the story. I told you the story of a man who bought a ticket to fly to go by sea to America. And all the 2 weeks he was on his way, he didn't come out of his cabin. All the time for lunch break, all this time, he didn't come out. He was in his room. So people thought he liked prayer or something. When they were about to get there, left with one day. They said, what do you normally do during all these days? You never come out to eat with others. He said, no, I had my food there, but it finished last week. So because I don't have money to buy, they said, no, the ticket covers your meals. I'm talking to just a few of you that get into Emirates with your own food. lunchbox, plastic this, Robson, orange, dilute. And then you get in there, they say, what? Before you know it, your life is changed. Why? Because you have no revelation. Do you know I can just come out of here, right? I can be here. When we were having New Year's Eve, we had the police come here, close the New Year's Eve, the first New Year's Eve. The second one, you don't know what we did. You have no idea. I carried my diplomatic passport and my diplomatic ID and told Aquila and his wife, carry your own. Because she's an ambassador. I said, carry your own. We gave him, you see, these are the proofs. Police comes. It's no longer Britain.